Yeah. I'm back. As you can see, the adversary works numbers trying to, hinder the message, freezing my camera and whatnot. So I had to restart the computer. These are the things that you go through when you standing on truth, right? So I don't know, for those that, was listening before. I'm sorry for those that was listening before. What I'm about to say is about to be a little bit repetitive, and for those that's gonna be tuning in now or even later, I'm just gonna land back on what I was talking about. Right now, the question that's asked is being black and woke, does that make you an extremist? Because you're black and you woke, does that make you an extremist? Now, to be woke, let me break it down. Let me give you the definition of being woke. Woke is the term that originated in African American, very secular, and refers to being socially and politically aware, particularly about issues related to social justice and equality and inequality. Being woke implies a understanding of systematic injustice, okay, and a commitment to address and challenge them. So that's what being woke is. The reason why I'm saying that is people are starting to see or getting the assumptions that I'm siding with what the Europeans are saying when it comes to colored people not receiving reparations. I'm not siding with the Europeans. I'm siding with the truth. I'm siding with the fact that no matter what you tell me, until we address the drugs, the prostitution, the single parent households, the division between man and woman, until we address those, you can't then think that you're gonna bring your argument and your reasonings to these people and demand some level of money when little things like that has not even been addressed. When I tell people, show me in the news right now, here in America, where you has found a Jewish person killing another Jewish person. Show me where in America, in the news right now, where you see an Arab killing an Arab, a Chinese killing a Chinese. You must show me that, and it must be at a high multitude. Things do happen. We have crazy people all the time, right? But it doesn't add up to the genocide we do amongst each other. And if I'm telling you that stuff like that is the reasoning why you're not even being a consideration of reparation, you can't take it as me siding with the enemy when I'm just telling you you're the one siding with the enemy because you're the one is doing what the enemy is telling you to do. I'm telling you you shouldn't be doing that. And when you try to argue and say this is owed to us, you're disrespecting your ancestors because they did everything in their power to get us this far. And what are we doing with this torch? Are we keeping the fire alive? No, we're taking the same torch and burning each other with it. Physically, mentally, sexually, financially, we're burning each other with this torch, and we're mad when somebody like myself is telling you, aha, it's because of your actions is why we're not receiving it. And you telling me that I'm taking the side of the enemy. You tell me, or you say individuals like myself, you guys are just extremists. You guys are just mad. I had one European say, look at you, you're promoting violence. Promoting violence? The last thing I want to do is promote violence. The last thing that the world needs to see is violence. But guess who's behind all the violence? Guess who's behind all the chaos? Guess who's behind all the evil? Guess what, people? It ain't us. Show me where black people has ignited a world war. Show me. I'll wait for it. Show me where you see black people going into other places to conquer with bloodshed and then bring forth a religion as Christianity and tell them you better worship Jesus or I'm going to chop your head off. Show me. You must show me these things. So when you when you are woke, you are also have to be very, very, very intelligent when it comes to the rebuttals that these people are going to throw at you. Your own people is going to throw rebuttals at you. So you must always know how to keep things in one center of the stage. I don't go dancing around the stage. I don't do that. I stay right in the middle, right in the center. When you boxing in the ring, you stand right in the center. Yeah, you might move your head, but you're supposed to stand right in front of your opponent. That's what you supposed to do. So when I say the things that I'm saying, that there'll be no reparations for you guys, I'm telling you, not only am I saying it, I'm showing you why there won't be no reparations. And when you try to use ancestors and you say this is what's owed to us, that's part of the problem. There's nothing owed to us. Because we have an opportunity to do something every single day and we choose to do otherwise. $1.7 trillion of spending power. And while we asking for help when we got $1.7 trillion of spending power, if everybody took a credit card and took $1,000 out that credit card and every single one of us put it aside, if there's how many colored people, 250 million people of color, that just says 85 million people and every single one of us took $1,000 and we all put it to the pot, you do the math. But you know why these things won't happen? It's because of the hate that we have for each other. It's because of the denial we have for the things that we do. It's because we still want to blame the white man for our ignorance. I'm telling you, yes, Dave did this. Dave taught us that. But somebody got to say, you know what? I'm turning off this TV. I'm tired of listening to this type of music. I'm tired of following and taking these people like Jay-Z's point of view, people that sold their soul a long time ago. I'm tired of allowing these people to be the epitome of what black people are supposed to be. Somebody got to wake up. Now, walking in a tightrope. See, when you are a black man and you woke, you got to walking in a tightrope. Because you might say something and then it's going to be the first person to be offended is going to be the black person. You might say something, the first person that's going to say something of you being an extremist is a European. Because the things that you speaking about when you're black and you woke is gonna go against the European agenda, the European philosophy, the European teachings. And for my Europeans, this is not a shot for you. This is a shock for us. We need to detach from you. You have been prosperous of your European teachings. I expect you to because you are a European. But as for colored people, it's time for us to denounce everything that's European because it's clear to see that the European philosophy is doing more damage to our people than good. Go look outside. What you see outside is black people following the ways of the Europeans. When we was following the ways of black people, we had the Black Wall Street. When we was following the ways of black people, we had the Harlem Renaissance. When we was following the ways of black people, we was doing black people stuff. We didn't even celebrate Christmas. You know, Christmas became a nationwide phenomenon around, I'll just say, the late 70s, early 80s. It started making its way into colored people's households. Black people never celebrated these things. We was doing Kwanzaa. Can anybody explain to me what happened to Kwanzaa? Why is Kwanzaa no longer a conversation in the black community? What's going on here? I'm just saying. What happened to black culture? What happened to our sisters wanting to learn how to dance African? What happened to it? See, when I asked these questions, I met with some level of, yeah, but this, but, it's always a but. But the only but that I need you guys to focus on, but what about the things that's not getting done? Why are we not getting the job done? Why? What's going on in our lives that we refuse to do the necessary things to get the job done? Why aren't we getting the job done? Why are we so demanding? We're so demanding of something. But I can turn on the TV right now. Somebody today, tomorrow. Matter of fact, you might get in your car right now and turn on the radio, and I guarantee you the song that's gonna come on that you're gonna vibe to is gonna be a song about killing a nigga. It's gonna be a song, it's gonna be an R&B song about a man lusting over a female, or a female mad about what his man did, etc., etc. We're gonna lust and we're gonna drive through the day. We might come out the car and harmonize these songs. And then gonna stand in front of each other and say, we demand this. Demand what? You need to be demanding self-respect. That's what you should be chasing. That's all I'm saying. I shouldn't be walking a tightrope and not being concerned of offending my people, when my people should be seeing what I'm seeing. Why aren't you able to see what I'm seeing? Who's feeding you that we demand reparation talk? Who's feeding you this? Who's feeding you this? Are you able to eat all that food? Are you? Don't seem like it. And if you're unable to, then I'm sorry. I can't give you something that you're unworthy to receive. I can't promote it. I can't promote it. We're unprepared. And the people that feeding us this nonsense is your media, is these influencers. It's these people that's feeding you that makes you in a space of sitting still. I had to tell this brother, I said, listen, you waiting for reparation. You're just as bad as the black man or the black woman that goes to church every Sunday to get on their knees, pray to a white European, and in hopes that this white European is going to save them from white Europeans. You still don't get this one trick pony. You still not getting that? How are you not getting it? I mean, it's clear as day. How are you not getting that? How are you not getting that? It's the same script. Play with these people's emotions. This is why I'm talking about it on Black History Month, because it should be the time for us to embrace. Guess what? We're supposed to be embracing every single day. Every day you survive something, that's a Black history that should not be kept to yourself. You should be speaking about it. You should be hitting me up and saying, yo, bro, man, I would like to talk about something that I experienced the other day. I would love to come on your platform and talk it. Sure, come on, come right along. But when you do come, just understand that we're not going to be pointing fingers. We need to start pointing fingers at ourselves. Somebody got to start holding us. Somebody got to start holding us to high regards. Somebody got to start holding us accountable. If you're not going to do it, don't you think it will be my job to do so? Because if you tell me you've been affected, the police arrest me for mistaken identity, I could respect that. But if you tell me that the police pulled me over, and what was the reason for them pulling you over? Yeah, the car was smelling like weed, or we was intoxicated, or we was just acting like some flat out niggas. And they pull us over, and one of your men choose to be disrespectful, and then you guys getting caught up into a situation. I have to check you on that. Let me tell you something, guys. I got the black law I got the Black Law book. It's the Black Law book. That joint got over. Matter of fact, I should go pull it right now. That joint is huge. And within that book, there's so much terminologies, ways to speak when you amongst these people that we don't know. Right? There's a reason why reparations can't come to us, because it just came to my head too, right? What leverage do we have outside of saying this is what's owed to us? What's our leverage? What can I present to these people right now that says this is why we need it? What leverage? See, the Jewish people can go to these people because they know, like, listen, this is why we need it. We need to enhance our community. We need more security. We need more funding to protect us so we can have more stores, so we can have more restaurants, so we can have more this, so we can have more that. This is what they doing with this. What is our leverage? What do you present to the city council? Because the same way you're demanding this, you're not finding drug dealers on the corner. You're not finding a Jewish person on crack. You're not finding a Jewish girl walking the beat selling herself. You're not seeing none of these things. You're not seeing an Arab woman doing that. You're not seeing an Arab woman on a strip pole. You're not seeing none of these things. Stop. Their leverage is way higher than ours. Who cares if what we went through on this land? We talking about right now, this very moment. Their leverage is more higher than ours. They got something worth talking about. They don't get a kick out of listening to destructive, genocidal music. They don't get a kick out of these things. They don't know what divorce is. Stop. These Arab women is married to one man. This man got 5 other wives. Stop. They got black people worrying about the minute things. Oh, he cheated. He cheated. That's why I'm leaving. Stop. What's your leverage? What you bringing to the table? Huh? What you bringing to the table? Who's going to represent you? One of them? Who's gonna speak on your behalf? One of them? Stop. Let's just stop being ignorant, man. Let's just call a spade a spade. Ain't that the American, black American favorite word? Stop. We demanding something and we not doing nothing with $1.7 trillion of spending power. Stop. Please. It's ridiculous. You look super stupid. I'm sorry. I'm a colored man. And I'm telling you this. There's no, how can you say this? There's no conversation that's being had. That they'll put it in the back. Oh yeah, we gonna put that on the list. As soon as these people become president, governor, politicians, you are afterthought. Because when they riding in their bulletproof trucks into your community, they seeing your young man on the corner smoking weed, pants under his ass, mask on, looking at grilling other brothers, wishing that the brother would. I want to rob him. You can't even wear jewelry in your own community without a foolery taking place. Come on, man, stop. Jewish people are outside, 11 o'clock at night, whole bunch of them. Now one person is worrying about something fatal taking place. You go out your house 11 o'clock at night, you got jewelry on, you got to be on point, you got to be alert. Stop. Stop. You have no leverage. Stop. I had a European on my joint say out of his mouth, listen, man, we deserve reparations too. In fact, we deserve more reparations than you. So European that said that. And if he was to bring, if him and his people was to come to the table and show off their arguments and their reasons, 9 out of 10 times they would have got passed and approved. They probably wouldn't get what these Jewish people got, but I'm sure they probably would have got at least 10, 15, maybe 30, 40, 50,000 a month for the rest of their lives. Meanwhile, we over here, we want millions and don't even have a million reasons into why we deserve it outside of our ancestors went through this and our ancestors did a great job. Shout out to the ancestors. Round of applause for them. Do it again. Shout out to our ancestors. They did such an amazing job. I thank them because through their hard work and their suffering and going through what they went through, we are alive right now for us to be even able to speak to each other. Thank you. They allow us to be able to drive a Bugatti, drive a Lamborghini, drive a Honda, drive a Civic. Don't have to take public transportation. They did their job. Shout out to them. I will always respect and honor whether they was part of the boule or not. They open up doors for us, for little individuals like me and you to have a space to speak and give off an our opinion. You know, once upon a time, if you had something to say, you would have got hung on a tree. I think their suffering and their fighting and their commitment to our freedom, they did a great job. And they didn't even care about reparations because they was promised 40 acres and a mule. They was promised that. They ain't get it. But did they stop? Did they stop standing on what? Did they stop standing on making sure that the next generation has a better outcome than theirs? Nope. They kept going. They kept fighting. They kept protesting. They kept throwing rocks. They didn't care how the government. Listen, we was becoming such a threat. These people had to drop bombs on us. Some of you guys don't even know how the Black Panther Party came about. Some of you guys don't even know how the Crips came about, how the Bloods came about, how the GDs, the BDs came about. When these gangs that you call gangs was created, it was never created ever to attack each other. It was created to liberate, to stand, to fight the cause, to unify, to take hoods and communities and put them together and stand against the evil man. CRIP stand for Community Reform in Progress. How I know? Because I used to be that. Stop. And we allow these people to come in our space, feed us the nonsense. And we had the easy way of saying, no, we don't want it. We want the easy way out. Nobody want to put in work. Yes, my mom worked 10, 15 jobs. I ain't trying to be like that. I'd rather be able to stand on the corner, smoke weed, see beautiful girls. This is what we wanted. We took the easy way out, and now we want easy money to come our way. When these people are telling you this is a corporation, you want the money from the head honcho. Nigga, you need to show me that you're worth this money. You got to be an asset to society, not a liability. Stop. You allow these people to bring drugs over here and we say, yeah, how much? Oh, I'm going to sell that on the expense of the destruction and the demise of your very own. And these same people that you was demise was having children. And now these children are born with deformalities, mental illness, ADHD. lack of nutrition, formula babies. Stop. Please. Stop. Stop. You make yourself look retarded. We had the ball and we dropped it. And now we want to pick it up with incentives. With insensitives. Like, yeah, you got to give me this. You got to give me that. Excuse me? Have you forgotten where we at? Have you forgotten that this world, this corporation is a corporation of our demise? Don't you know that we are the power. We are literally the power, the plug to this place running smoothly. But guess what you decided to do? You decided to take the roles of the KKK. You decided to take the roles of the COPs, the FBIs, the ATF. We decided to take on those roles. They just sit back. They just sit back and wait. Police officers wait for the phone call. The FBI wait for the phone call. They just wait for you to mess up. And they come with the sweet sweeper to clean all you niggas up. And to put all you niggas back into real slavery that your ancestors had to go through, which is called prison. They put you right back into that. And now the difference between then is now you're more valuable. Back then, a slave could cost you damn near $3,000. And that was a lot of money back then. And they took that money and they did what they were supposed to do with it. Now, you getting a penny off the dollar for your labor. I posted up the video for y'all. You could go watch it. You getting a penny off the dollar for your labor. And every single inmate that come into a prison, you automatically are in there with a $50,000 annual bond on your head. That's why they feed you ignorant music, giving you drugs, all intentional. What's the man Dixon name? Richard Dixon. Go look up the war on drugs. All part of the plan. But you fell for it. Your ancestors didn't fall for it. You know why? Because your ancestors knew who the enemy was. Your ancestors says, we don't want no type of business with these people. Nope. Listen, Martin Luther King was fighting for something that we never asked for. We never cared for integration. We never wanted integration. Let me say that again. We never cared for integration. We never wanted integration. You can go to the South right now, and they're probably dead now, but you can go to the South right now, and the old heads will tell you, nah, we never wanted that. Because we knew what these people was about. How do you want to, ask yourself this question, how do you want to be cool with the enemy knowing that the enemy raped your moms? Let it be a nigga that did that in the hood. You ready to take his head off? How would you wanna sit in the same facility knowing that these people can snap their finger and get you hung on a tree and nobody get persecuted behind it? Huh? How do you feel that you could, how would you feel knowing that you went inside of a facility and you seen the man that molested your little sister? And these people are so nasty. Not only did they touch your little sister, they continue to go touch a next little girl. That little girl might be your cousin. That little girl might be your daughter. We ain't never asked for none of these, bro. Does that make me an extremist for what I'm talking about? Absolutely not. I'm just a realist. I'm just able to see what you don't want to see. I'm speaking what you scared to speak. Because my mama always told me you can't sleep with the enemy. My mama always told me once an enemy will always be your enemy. You can't befriend an enemy. You can't. Especially when that enemy did something worthy of being an enemy, right? Having a fist fight doesn't make somebody an enemy. You spinning the block and trying to take my life away by shooting me, that makes you an enemy. You become an enemy when you try to rape my mother. That becomes an enemy. When you kidnap me, that becomes an enemy. You don't receive enemies because of words. You don't receive an enemy because you're fighting. You see how minute they got your mind? That's not an enemy. That's two men fighting and doing what they do. That doesn't make you an enemy. You become an enemy when you try to harm me to the point that my life is taken. My life is ruined. Your life don't get ruined by throwing the hands. Your life don't get ruined by sending a text. Your life gets ruined by killing. Which, guess what? Guess what these people have been doing? They've been doing that for 2,500 years. And it's not just the Europeans. The Arabs got their hands in our demise. The Chinese got their hands in our demise. Just because their skin tone is a little darker doesn't mean that they're one of us. Newsflash. Now, does that make me an extremist because I'm woke and I can see this? And I've been teaching this. I've been studying this. I've been observing. I've been monitoring. And everything, and all conclusions always remain the same. They are only in your space unless it's for their benefit. Nobody ain't working with us because they genuinely care for us. Even these HSBCs, these historical black colleges. These things was funded by the enemy. You know why they was funding them? Because they knew that if you went inside their institution, they can feed you all their literatures that they wrote, all the nonsense that they compiled together and force it down your throat. And because you feel like you in a prestige facility, something that your grandparents ain't never experienced, you then proceed to believe that you have received the knowledge and truth. And then the knowledge and truth that you receive, you then to take it and teach it to the youth. And then the youth takes that and they run with it. And then now when the youth and through generation and things start going up, people start getting access to phones and the things that they was taught is not making sense anymore. You start to get what you get now. You get a rebellious nation. You get a confused nation. You get a disobedient nation. You get a lack of accountability nation. You get people that want to get high because it's just too much. The world is so chaotic. The best thing to do is smoke weed. Girls think the men is so chaotic. The best thing to use just to use them for their nuts. Get a nut, get a buck, and do what I want. This is what we have now. And in the same token, we are demanding reparations. And I'm here to tell you, you will never receive any reparations. The only reason why it's a conversation that's being had right now in California is because the money is about to collapse. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to give you, this is what the devil is going to do. And you heard it from me first. When the money collapses, they're gonna have a campaign where it's going to deliberately be for the black and brown people. It's going to say, are you in debt? Are you affected behind the crash? Well, if you come in and you do such and such, we will pay off everything for you. But that's going to come with a price. That's going to come with another this. That's going to come with another chip. Elon Musk, another chip going to be right here. See, they'll give it to you. But they're not going to give it to you while you are a liability. So they got to issue all of these, because all of these is going to lead to them having complete control over you. And just in case you want to just come on YouTube and talk crazy and the frequency goes back to their database, they could just press a button. And oh, you think I'm lying? Oh, you think I'm lying? You think these stuff that you see on social media, you think all these people that's just dropping just like that out of nowhere, you think that it wasn't through a button? You really thought it was just silly rabbits. You really don't know what's going on. You really don't know what's going on. You think that's what it was? These dudes is bedtime. You understand me? Just look at the process of how these people are collapsing. They'll have a whole conversation. Oh, yeah. Bang. Right? Somebody that's going through something will be like this. Nope. Let's test it out today, guys. Because they watching everything. All of that was to put you guys on what you are in right now. Watch the Bill Gates TED Talk if you thinking if I'm talking, if you thinking that I'm capping. These people know. You don't know. This is why people would say, oh, you just an extremist. This is I'm extremely concerned about my people. I'm extremely concerned of my people, the direction my people are heading, the lack of knowledge my people have. The lack of knowledge has been a massive lack because of the flack and the slack of nonsense these people has been giving you for the last how many years? And it was passed down from generation to generation. And now we are here with the generation can care less for anything. I'm just here to tell you the truth. And if you want to fix this problem, if you want to be able to stand before these people and demand your reparations, let's first put an end to separation. Let's put an end to integration. Let's go back to segregation. Let's go back to black teachers, black culture. Let's put an end to our investment into their creation, into their sports, into their movies, into their music. Put an end to it. They listen, they don't need you no more. You think they brought them migrants here for no reason? You niggers has become expendable. You are no longer needed. Those that remain are gonna be the ones that's in complete servitude. Everybody else, they're building everything before you. They're building a brand new $1.7 billion prison complex right now in the Bronx. They literally dig it around it to make sure it has water all around. Oh, you guys don't know. You think you know. And you know why they're comfortable in doing this? Because they know that we divided. They know there's no unity. There's no, they know that we still attracted to the foolery. We got men getting a kick out of women with fake asses. Women is falling in love with men that's wearing fake jewelry. Everything around us is fake, and we have embraced it and loved it. Y'all women love fake niggas that don't stand on nothing. Y'all niggas love fake females that don't stand on nothing. Y'all get attracted. You get aroused for that. I get so turned off when I see girls come on and they showing off their bodies. That's such a turn off. Because it's like, damn, we still in this type of time. I mean, I understand it when it was in the early 2000s, you know, even in the mid 2000s. But my nigga, we are in 2024. We got a whole new eclipse coming in. Look what we doing. We still on this type of time. Still on this type of time. And y'all get mad because I'm telling y'all the truth. We still on this type of time, guys. Girls is still looking for the niggas with the money. These females been finding niggas with the money. The niggas with the money been violating, mistreating y'all, doing y'all dirty, bringing y'all diseases because every single woman, they know that they got what the women want because women are not seeking men for being men, hardworking men, right? Construction boots on, not caring for the cars and all of that. They just want to be family men, making sure that they are in their child's lives, all of that. Y'all don't want that. Y'all want the trips. You want the glamour. You want this. You want that. That's what y'all seeking. Man not looking for the wife. Yeah, she's broke out her ass. She don't got nothing. She ain't wearing no makeup. She's not doing nothing, but she in complete submission to you. Cooking for you, cleaning for you, pleasing you. Letting you do all wild sexual fantasies to her. Never disobedient. Never disrespectful. But that's not what you want. Because you want the girls with the fake lips, the fake hips, the eyelashes, the wigs. The girls with the toes that's like this because they toes is like this because they've been wearing these tight ass shoes. Some of these female feet be so beat, they gotta hide it with nail polish. Stop. We're so off when it comes to what we need to do. $1.7 trillion? We got $1.7 trillion? And the only thing we got to show for it, niggas don't even got a spaceship. For $1.7 trillion, we should at least have a spaceship. We should at least have an all-black amusement park. We should at least have an all-black library. We should at least have a church that's all black, that when you go inside there, you see black Jesus. At least? Nah, that's too much. We need another studio. We need another Airbnb. We need another barbershop. We need another restaurant. We need another of the same nonsense. It's like we can't even think beyond, over and beyond. I got a nonprofit. My nonprofit is literally designed to cater to black and brown people. It's here in New York. I wanna grow it so it can go out to the other countries where the black and browns are and they receive the help and the support they need. How many of y'all is on that type of time? Or are you on that type of time, but you only own it because you want the fundings, you want the money so you could take the money and buy a brand new car? Fake it like you're going to fake it until you make it, huh? You're just as bad as the pastors and the preachers, all of these niggas that got nonprofits that's getting money from these people that's taking this money to destroy us. This is why we're seeing, this is why I gotta ask, is being black and woke make you an extremist? Am I an extremist? From the things that I said just now, do you view me as an extremist? Or are you afraid of people speaking real? So you got to create a terminology as an extremist to justify your weakness, to hide your weakness, to suppress your weakness, your trauma. Because in reality, deep down in your heart, you want to be a genetically modified European. The brother asked and said, why do blacks cause so much crime? Let me answer that. The reason why blacks cause so much crime, because it started off with Europeans infusing their DNA into our women. And then children was born from that infusion, right? So now that child has a little bit of good in him and got a little bit of evil. So now this child that got a little bit of good, a little bit of evil was still populating. And out came more children. Now more of these children got a little bit of good in them, got a little bit of evil. Right? So now the little bit of good, a little bit of evil is now the majority of so-called African Americans here in the world. Okay? So now the little bit of good that's in these African Americans are now being triggered. And I didn't even jump on the Willie Lynch, where that Willie Lynch campaign literally started seeing each other as enemies right off that letter. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm gonna go a step higher to let you know what you see going on right now. So these children that has a little bit of good and a little bit of evil in them are now your modern day. We're here today. They know that in order to receive, in order for that child to latch on to the evil and not the good, you have to create a frequency sound. And that frequency sound is played in your school. It's played in your movies. It's played in your music. You see, I mentioned those three places. Those three places where the most amount of evil takes place, in those three areas. Those three areas cause the amount of destruction and disturbance amongst people because that frequency gets activated. Right? Now, once upon a time, that activation was turned off. I remember growing up when it became 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Remember when the TV, it go tee, and it was silence. There was no music, no nothing. So you had to wait till the next morning around 8, 9 o'clock to go and listen to music. So they realized that they shouldn't do that. Because if you continuously hear the violence, hear the frequency, hear the music, and if you continuously go outside, and we're not going to mention the drugs and the alcohol that was infused into our community because black people don't own the liquor. We don't have factories that make guns, and we damn sure don't have planes to go from South America to pick up kilos, crack, weed, whatever, and bring it to our community. These things has to be given to us by somebody, and that somebody don't look like me and you. So now you get all of these things, and we run with all of these things. You understand? All of these things are the reason why black people commit crimes. Now, if I tell you, if you was to stand next to me and you had to go on a 10-mile journey, and on that 10-mile journey, every person or every car in every store you walk by, they called you stupid. They called you dumb. They called you a nigger. They called you a savage. They called you a gangster. They called you a weirdo. They called you a sucker. They called you a hoe. They called you this. They said act like that. They said be this. They said be like that. By the time you get to your destination, you will act out everything you was told. Now that's why I hope all of that, goes through and you have a better understanding. That's why blacks cause so much crime. And it's gonna be okay. And it's gonna be okay. Because you see how I'm able to break that down? If every single color person was able to see that and understand that, the change will come 10 times sooner. It's your brother man from the motherland. I came to you guys live once again to continue supporting. Share this, guide this, rewatch it. This is just food for you to help you get to the next phase and chapter in life. We have to do right because there's too much of us losing our lives and we have lost sight of the true fight. And that fight is for freedom. It's your brother man from the motherland and I am him, Mr. NBIC, Mr. AKA, Mr. AKA, keep my foot on you heathens, you Hebrews, and the newly installed heathenites next. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Father, say it one time for the one time. And I'ma holler at y'all.